going over the real heavy, soggy going that we had, it took something out of her for sure, and she got tired. So we'll save her for another day, and we'll just look forward to being on a firm turf course, hopefully, for her next start. So coming out of Sugar Kate's last race, the race right after the storm, she had a really nice work over the poly track. She did exactly what we wanted to do, galloped out strong, came back feeling good, was full of herself the next morning. So really everything we wanted to see out of a workout. We just wanted to get her on a firm turf course. From what we can tell so far, that's what it needs to be to get the best out of her. Again, bunch of weather to talk about. They're off the turf on Thursday. Our race is Friday. There's more rain forecast.
Tammy said that the training track was all sloppy, and she said there was a 90% chance that we were not going to be on the turf because of how sloppy the training course was. If we would have came off the turf today, we definitely would have scratched.
So my daughter Kate and I planned the trip from St. Louis to Chicago. We were about halfway up when they made the call that the races would be on the turf course, although it was listed as yielding.
My dad shouted in the car.
You know, running on yielding is better than not running at all.
We can't be mad at her if she doesn't run good, since we do know it's going to be a yielding turf course.
When the real running started, she just didn't have that other gear.
And she just kept moving back until she was second to last. And that's what place she got. She got second to last.
We have no other excuses. We scoped her after the race. She scoped clean. Had she done the exact same thing on a firm turf course, we would really be scratching our heads. You know, and that's when you just got to look and say, wow, maybe she's not as good as we thought she was. Hopefully we're not there yet. We'll look to get her back on the grass across town at Hawthorne and, you know, hopefully catch a firm turf course there. Yeah, with horse racing, there's just so much that goes into the game and so much that goes into getting a horse, you know, from birth to the starting gate, or I mean, even just from, you know, one race to the next. So much training, so much care, so much has to be taught to them. So to see that all come together, especially for a homebred like Sugar Kate and her full brother Dr. Trotter are for us, so gratifying. So to see Sugar Kate win her first start of the Arlington Park meet, and then, you know, her brother Dr. Trotter had a nice win. It's been a pretty fun meet for us, for sure. For myself, being in the game for like 12 years now, I mean, there's no way I could imagine myself not having racehorses. I mean, it is that fun. It is that, you know, great of a challenge. You know, it would be really difficult for me not to be a part of it. And any of the satisfaction that I get from watching our horses run, I mean, it means so much more that my daughter Kate is right there with me and really into the horses. You know, loves getting up early and going to training with me.
It's easier to read a racing form than it is to read a really long chapter book. I won all the races I betted on, because I didn't bet on Sugar Kate's race, I don't think.
Today we just packing, you know, all the training is done, so we're just packing and get ready to move to Hawthorne. The season went really, really good. We just have little ups and downs, you know, and the meet ended so quick, you know, it seems like yesterday, you know. Most of the meet I missed because of my injury. I was out from June 21st until today, you know, but I've been coming in and out for training, but I didn't spend much time on the track, so I'm really looking forward for the next year. This is my first million, by the way. I missed And even when we had $1 million in Canada, I went over there. Since 1979, I've been always here in Arlington and never missed any actions, you know. Everything is my favorite thing, you know. I mean, waking up early in the morning. I love to wake up early in the mornings. And when I come see the horses, I'm always happy. And being with the horses, you know, I mean, doesn't matter what I'm doing, you know, the training and even walking the horses and everything I enjoy. Everything is my favorite. The whole racing business, I love it. Next year, Arlington, I'm looking forward to, first of all, be here at Arlington, and I'm looking for the new clients and some new stock, and hopefully everything will work out for me, and then we'll enjoy the season, you know, like always we do.
We came to Arlington sky high. We still had fun, we had a great time, it was exciting, but probably look at this meet, maybe this year, as kind of the year of what could have been. We like to have a celebration, so I think this is our 5th Red Rabbit Racing Awards dinner. This year, we wanted to do something a little different, so we get all the partners, and we bring Chris and Chris's parents, Pat and Dave Block were there. We asked Steve Polis this time. We have a quiz, Red Rabbit Racing quiz. We had a commissioned portrait made of General Charlie almost a year ago, but I thought, well, we got to have really a public unveiling here. So we unveiled that at the party. Jeff Johnson, Roofer Rabbit, he always does a little speech and recounts our years, so he did that, and that was stellar. Then we have the actual awards themselves, but this year we thought we would pattern them after the Academy Awards. So you could call them the Oscars, but we don't want to do that, so we called them the Erasmos, after our master groom Erasmo, who has been our groom in Chris's barn for probably 5 years.
And the Erasmo goes too.
It went till, I don't know, 11 o'clock at night. It was a lot of fun. We have a good time. To me, so much of what's fun about racing is the things that are away from the track, the characters that you meet, the people that you'd never come across of, and their stories and their backgrounds. And you talk to Eddie about he came into racing. It's absolutely fabulous. As I understand it, he was working as a busboy at a local Mexican restaurant, and Moises Yanez talked with him, asked him if he knew anything about racing, and he didn't. So he kind of took him under his wing and showed him this environment, and I don't know if he took lessons or just started riding or whatever, and then from that had this change of life where now he's Chris's #1 rider, and I just think that's absolutely tremendous. When we went into this, it was really kind of all about what we thought would be the novelty of running a horse, but the actual experience has been far more than that. The best thing about it is it's brought the family together. So I'm actually surprised why more people don't look at it in that way. If I look back at everything the family has done, if you asked any of them, there's been nothing more fun than what it is that we've done over the last 10 years, and that's been this racing enterprise. We approach it, the same way we approach everything else. We want to do it ethically. We want to do things right by the horse. But if you're looking for something where you can have fun as an individual, more important as a family or group of friends or whatever, in my experience, you will never find anything more exciting than this.
Everybody thinks to get into this business you've got to be a multimillionaire, and you really don't have to. You can enjoy it, spend a few $100s to get in, a few $100s a month, and you can still have a good time. And that's what it's all about. I like to try to get people involved with this, whether they're at 5%, 10%, 20, whatever, it doesn't really matter. I look for a horse that I feel that is a check getter, that averages $2,000 a month, which is average what it takes to pay for a horse. So when I claim a horse or buy a horse, I look at it with that statistic in mind. And then from there, I have a group of people that I send the note out to everybody. I tell them I'm claiming a horse. If you want in it, let me know what share of the partnership you want. I will claim the horse in my name. And then from there, people say, I'll take 5%, 10%. I have one horse, there's 6 people that own her, and that horse goes from Cleveland to Florida to Pittsburgh to Arizona to here. There's a group of firemen in Cleveland that all put their money in together for 10%. All the firemen go to watch their horse run. So it's exciting, and it's a big thrill for them. Even a 5% owner is just so excited that their horse is running. Anybody that says, I want to get in, I'm interested, just tell me how much you want to spend, and then I'll put 2 or 3 other people together, and we'll try to come up with a plan and either buy something or claim something. So I think a lot of people think that the horse racing is fixed, and it really is not. A lot of people get that preconceived message that if a horse goes off a 1-5 favorite and he doesn't win, the race is fixed. I've been in those situations before. Things happen, like what happens to Bo. I mean, it's a hot day, he has a bad trip, something happens to the equipment, things happen. I think a lot of people think that every horse is juiced up, that gets shots. You hear about a horse getting Lasix, and then he gets a drug that's going to make him go faster. It's not going to make him go faster, it's going to help them. And a lot of people think that because you have a vet work on a horse, that it's a bad thing, and it really isn't. I mean, our vets save a lot of horses.
Well, originally we had planned to bring him back to Arlington. We had him checked out before we were going to bring him back, and there was still just the slightest bit of irritation in the ligament. We didn't want to push it, so we took him back out to the farm, and at that point we knew Arlington was out of the question, and the plan is to bring him back into training probably in around 1st of November to start getting him ready for a really good 2014 campaign. You can have all the plans, the best plans in the world, but the horse is going to tell you what's going to happen. But overall, we still had a fabulous summer.
The highlight was his win here at Arlington. In the first week of Arlington, I can't even describe how exciting it was to see him win here.
Every race, every win is special. I don't care what race it is or what level.
Probably of our group, I'm the biggest novice, if you will. I've never had a horse, and I really love it. I love every part of it. I'm out here every weekend. We go to the farm to see him every weekend.
This group, we just have fun together. I don't know where you could find a nicer group.
Even though I knew it was going to be a lot of fun, I think it's even far exceeded my expectations of what it really would be like too.
And the story is so remarkable with Taxi that it's, we're doing all of this for the right reasons, and it's really a good side of racing. We all just feel like we're part of a team and a family, and I mean that's just one of the added bonuses of being, one of the owners of Taxi. I honestly don't think I would have done it on my own, even though I would have loved the thought of owning a racehorse, but without the group of people that's in our partnership, I might not have done it. The experience is so phenomenal. I would suggest it to anybody. There'll never be another Taxi, and I think, there'll never be another group like Rescue Me Racing. But I don't know. It just depends on, it's hard to say. I think I would miss it. Oh shoot, yeah, I'd have another horse in a minute. Who am I kidding? Yeah. Oh yeah, because it is truly phenomenal.
Well, I originally got in a partnership with 2% of 3 horses, and one of which was St. Leon, who got claimed away and ended up claiming him back, and I've owned him 100% since then, and he's went from a $5,000 claimer to winning the Arlington Sprint 2 years in a row, which was an amazing, amazing experience. But it's, kind of like potato chips. You can't just have one. You just get caught up in it and you get addicted to it. I've been so fortunate with St. Leon, and I keep telling people I stay in it because good things keep happening. I mean, I think we've been incredibly lucky with Taxi. He's just been so amazing after, just basically falling into our laps and then doing so well. But I think I would be very realistic with someone if they were thinking about coming into it and telling them, here's the pros, here's the cons. A lot can happen. Make sure that you have the right kind of trainer that's going to fit your horse, that feels the same way about your horse that you do.
I mean, there's a lot of people, myself included, that are willing to help those that are new to the game. One great example I can think of, a good friend of mine says all the time, he says, I just went in to get my tooth filled and I ended up, owning some racehorses. There's a lot of different ways to get into ownership. Most people will get their first horse in what's called a syndicate, where there's multiple owners to spread out the cost and the risk as a way to get their feet wet.
My advice would be to come out to the barn some Saturday or Sunday, walk around, see the horses, see how they're taken care of, see how they're treated, meet other owners, meet the trainer. And once you get out there, that's when you really can find out if you really want to do this, if you're really going to enjoy it, if you're really not.
As an owner, the important thing is to trust your trainer. They know their horses, and when the trainer tells you something, the horse needs a little time, or whatever he says, just listen.
Well, to me, the first thing you do is you go find a good trainer, and that's not hard to do. There's a ton of good people on the backside here that have all different types of horses, whether it's something that you want to do on the lower end or the higher end. You find a good trainer, because your trainer is your partner, really. And then whether you're looking at buying a horse at a sale or claiming a horse like we typically do, or whatever, you figure out what that strategy is of how you want to do it and understand that. And then you listen to the trainer. You work together, you try and pick that one, at least from our perspective in a claiming side, and get them, and then the adventure starts.